Cipher, maker behind Stamped AF. It is Wednesday. What is it? I almost want to say July. June 15th. Can you believe it's the middle of June already? I was going to try and put it to just my face, but it is not letting me do that. So this is what you get. I'm going to turn this light off. Yeah, we'll leave it off. So give me a thumbs up or a comment or something when you get here so I know that you can hear me and see me. All that fun stuff. So masculine week continues, and you might have noticed in true Ashley fashion that I'm running behind. So my video was done late Monday, so I shared that picture on Tuesday, and my card from yesterday was late as well, and that is because I was doing mystery stamping with that as my project for my team meeting last night. So I shared that one late, so I'm going to show you both projects so far, and then this is what I'm going to make tonight. Hi Jen! So I hope everyone's having a wonderful week. It's Wednesday already. We're halfway there. Okay, so in case you missed it, this is the card that I shared in my video this week. So I just let her in and close the door. Can you hear that? This is using the Vintage Tools and He's All That stamp set. So there is a very quick, like 4-minute video with this one. And I think I'm going to start putting mats inside all of my cards because that is pretty sturdy. You know how usually you get a whole bunch going on the front and then maybe a sentiment on the inside if you're like me, and then it just kind of flops? Well, this is sturdy, my friends. So that was project number 1. This is project number 2. Super easy fun fold, and I'll show you the version I made in the team meeting last night. Hi Dawn. So it is cheers to all your years. I think it could have said cheers to all the years instead of your years, but so you see that the two DSPs kind of complement each other there, and then on the inside as well. Now if you have it closed like that, you see those. If you have it like that, you see those. And then I've stamped and Wink of Stella'd the bruise in there, so I owe you one or several. Okay, so that was project number 2. This I figured I was going to share. Hi Judy. Hi Pam. I'm so out of breath. Okay, so this is a super fun card. I'm going to make a slight change because my little banners here interfere with the opening. Well, not so much the opening, but the closing. So we'll modify that just a little bit. So a little bit of a fun fold. And then we've got a cute little gift card holder. Whoopsie. So, of course, I'll show you on the one that we're going to make. A gift card fits just perfectly in here. And this is a product from the new July through December mini catalog. So if you are not already a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you can pre-order from the new catalog. It's amazing. That whole, there's a section on the bottom there between where the note cards are in the end. That's all new product. It's amazing. Hi Karen. I see your name. Okay, so during our mystery stamping last night, I chose the new, what's this called? Christmas Scotty. So I just punched the dog, not actually, punched him out of cardstock, stamped and punched the bow. This is that beautiful mother of pearl paper that's in the mini catalog. This is not continuing. So if you have not, if this hasn't caught your eye before, make sure you get it before it's too late. Like, look at that. And I want to show you, hi Linda. I want to show you. Now, one, I was not thinking about the fact that I would see an image if I stamped it right there, but I felt like I wanted him facing inward. May your days be furry and bright. Like, so cute. And there's a cute little plaid pattern in that, but we're going to focus on masculine. But I want to show you this paper. If you missed it, I'm going to show you one of the projects this week that didn't make the cut. And I'm obsessed with these rugged icons dies. You're going to see a little bit more. You haven't seen anything yet, but you will see more as the week goes on. I colored it. Like, look at that. Look at that fish. Isn't that fun? Now I know you can see the little bumps from die cutting, but it is a very fun paper. I felt like this was too much going on, but you play, you learn, right? Okay, before I get into this, I have one more of the Hues of Happiness kit available. This is $20 within Canada. I'm sorry, I can't sell outside of Canada. You get a little bit of the DSP left over from what I didn't use in the kits. They are beautiful, I assure you. If you'd like more information or you want to see the cards themselves, the YouTube video is live. I don't give any dimensions there because, of course, you have to have the kit or the tutorial to be able to make these, but I do have one left. And a very pretty card to go with it to thank you. Okay, so let's move this. Who has trouble making man cards, as they call them? It's not something I do very often, but I love it. I mean, if you know me at all, you know that I love these mixed neutrals. You've got Early Espresso, Soft Suede, Sahara Sand, Gray Granite, and Basic Gray. Like, so fun, right? And this is the Hues of Happiness DSP. So you can take something that's intended to be floral and mix it in. Okay, are you in or out? It's about to storm here, so I've got two dogs that are terrified. Okay, so, hi Cheryl. Now, disregard this part. This is the pretty pop-ups that is in the annual catalog. I showed you that a few weeks ago. But these are the designer tags. I can't show you the inside of the catalog, but I can at least give you the right name. And like I said, if you're not already a demonstrator, you can join and build your starter kit with pre-order items. Where are they? Celebrations tag, page 67. I cannot show you the inside yet, but let me give you the name of the bundle. It is called Celebrate with Tags, and there's stamp set and the celebration tags dies. Let me show you. It is a very cute stamp set, great for more than just Christmas, like Happy Birthday, Merry Christmas, XOXO, Be Jolly, Let's Celebrate You, Made with Love. Got a mitten, hearts, a balloon, fun little stripes. Got a very itchy puppy right here. And then the dies. You've got the balloon, you've got two sets of candles, you've got a banner, a stitched rectangle, which we need because that is that opening. And then you've got one that folds over as a tag, and one that you create this little envelope with. So we're going to use that, and then we're going to use the dies from the He's All That. You know, it's so much product coming so fast that it's like, I can't remember all these names. Right, you can always use man cards, and I feel like they're something that we probably tend to neglect. Like, I only make one when I have to, but let me tell you, this has been fun. You don't have to have all these florals, and I mean, it doesn't have to be this big ornate card. Which do you want to do first? Should we do the card or the tag? And, oh my gosh, I had one of my sweet customers ask, like, are you okay? You're getting very winded just by standing. I am so not healthy right now. Weight gain and all of that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to die. I'm just very out of shape. Okay, so I'm going to use this DSP this time. The one that is, I think we'll probably use the Hello Handsome sentiment, because on this one I did Holy Smokes, You're Amazing. And I thought this gift card holder would be great for, say, if you're the man in your life, whoever you're giving this to, likes barbecue sauce from a certain place, or maybe it's like Montana's, some kind of restaurant that has like barbecue. I thought that would be great. You could kind of change it so that it's just a tag that goes around the top of a barbecue sauce bottle. Lots of options. Yes, Karen, it actually shows your name, so you don't even have to type it now. I don't know what changed. Maybe you're watching on my page, or maybe there's a permission change that happened. I don't know. But let me know, what should I use? Basic Black or Sahara Sand? Because whatever I use for one, I will use for the other, and then the one that I don't use for the base we'll use as the accent, like the tags. Well, let me just stand here and catch my breath. I don't think there's anything else I had to share other than my product shares are open. So if you're in Canada and you want to get a sampling of the DSPs and the ribbons and the embellishments from the new catalog, the form, the link to my form is on my page and my group, I believe. My team gets their discount on it, so that's another perk of joining. If you're not already a demonstrator, you can add pre-order items to that starter kit and then also take advantage of the team perks. Okay, Karen says black. Alrighty, that's kind of where I was going too. So we will make a basic black card base. We're going 5.5, I think. Yes, that will fit on there. Let's cut it to 4 1/4 first. I don't usually do this because I like to cut it when it's already been folded and scored, but I want to do this from just one sheet of cardstock. Okay, so we'll score it there. And should we use the same label that I did? Should we use this one that's this fun ornate rectangle? Or do we use the circle or this big rectangle? The Hello Handsome would fit on any one of these 4. So tell me, do we want the, let's say, scalloped circle, the oval, the ornate rectangle, or the rectangle? Let me know. And in the meantime, I will get this ready. This, you can only fit one on here, but I mean, you could do any bit of labels. We've got a good little portion left. I'm going to use my electric die cutting machine, so it'll be a little bit loud over here for a second. I actually bought the Sizzix switch a few weeks ago, and I love it. I love because it's got like a 9x15 base, so I've got swaps that I'm prepping, and I was able to cut so many things in one pass. It is so much quieter than the Vagabond, but it also, I don't have any more room. Okay, so it does score this for you, but I would highly suggest using a bone folder so that you get a nice crease. I don't know who decided to mow their lawn at like 7:30 on a Wednesday when it's about to pour. But thank you for that, neighbor. Okay, so it looks like ornate rectangle. When I have something like this, I like to take my ruler and just kind of burnish it that way. Gives me a nice crisp line, and then, sorry, not burnish, but fold it up and then I can burnish. Oh, and I've got good news about some holiday classes coming up. There will be some more information this weekend, but for those of you that have participated in seasonal classes before, you are going to be thrilled. Okay, so that is that. I don't have the crispest fold here, but that is all there is to that. Can you believe that? That. Okay, and before we seal it up, I'm going to go ahead and die cut my stitched rectangle. I can't wait to show you my swaps. I want to get them in the mail tomorrow or Friday. And I actually combined 2 bundles from the new catalog. So cute. Okay, so maybe what I will do is we'll take this out. I do need a Sahara Sand ornate label for these 2, and then I guess we are still doing the oval because we need it for the sentiment. But what I can do is do, no, I won't. I'm getting ahead of myself. There's an order that we have to do that in. I apologize for the noise. With the amount of die cutting that I do, I can't keep cranking my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine every single time. Okay, so we need a little scrap of vellum. You could use window sheet as well, but I like that it's a little bit opaque. You can have a gift card in there and not see exactly what it is. Now this is about 3 inches by, I'm gonna say 1 5/8, but we'll go to 1 3/4. Actually, let's go to 2, no, 1 3/4. And then we'll go to 3. And it's just enough to cover that. So we'll use some liquid glue. My favorite glue container is in another room for my swaps. Whoops. Oh, sure, and then it doesn't come out again. Let's get that off of there. Okay, and I find that by kind of pushing into the glue, the vellum and the glue, it sets it quickly. And if there's any that has spilled out, I can deal with that, because we don't want this getting glued shut, right? Now we can put a little bit of glue on here. That's probably more than we need. Nice unstable hand. Now this part was awkward. So let's do that side. Hold it for a couple of seconds. It's liquid glue, so it just needs the few seconds to set. And then we'll pop this one down without me getting glue all over my fingers. There we go. Like, who doesn't need a gift card holder? Everyone needs one, right? Okay, so that is that. I want to show you that a gift card will fit in there. I'm getting stuck on that little piece, but there you go. You could put a little strip, like you could put ribbon or a little piece of cardstock on the end just to make sure the recipient doesn't have to pull it out, but look at that. Perfect, right? Okay, so we will use the same ribbon. This is the twill that's part of the Cottage Rose suite of products. Not quite focusing, but there we go. And then some of the basic black. Actually, yeah, we'll stick with what we got. So just cut a little bit. Now, if you didn't want to have to tie this and untie it every time, you could use a different kind of closure, but I would still recommend putting some kind of ribbon to cover that hole. But I'm not going to tie this. Just gonna leave it like that. Take a little bit of twine. I've got so many packages of the partially used twine. I went through the white like ages ago, but every time you need more of the white or the black, then you have to order a whole other pack. So I'm finding reasons to use my gray granite and crumb cake. You can just adjust your bow once you've got it on there, but something like that. Trim those tails a little bit. We've got our ornate rectangle. Before I die cut into this, I'm going to cut it to 4 by 5 1/4 for the card base. I am going to adhere it, and then I'm going to die cut that rectangle from the card base. So 4 by 5 1/4. I might have enough seal. I totally forgot to order more refills for my Stampin' Seal. And I don't like my adhesive to get low. Like, I always have bottles of Tombow, and I always have packages and packages of Stampin' Dimensionals, but totally lost sight of the Stampin' Seal. Okay, so we're going to put that on. I don't know if anyone else is finding this. I am finding this paper to be a little tricky if you want a really good clean cut. It doesn't always do that, so if you've never watched me before, this will be new, probably. But if I get rough edges, I just use a nail buffing block. And if you want it to be a little more distressed, you can go in and kind of sand some of that black color off. But I want my edges to be nice and crisp, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, so now we can take our ornate rectangle, decide where you want it, try an eyeball to make sure that it's centered, or use a ruler. Up to you. I'm going to use some mint tape because I don't want this to rip. Love this die set. I had forgotten it was a shaker tag when I first got it. Glad you gave me a demo. Are you talking about this? I had forgotten it was a shaker tag. It is a really fun die. And I mean, with that many dies in the set, you can't go wrong. And also because of what it is, you can't go wrong. Okay, so let me think about this. I need, from my Sahara Sand, I need a couple of the banners. These two guys. I need 2 ovals. I'm going to do them as the Sahara Sand instead of basic black because I don't want to have to heat emboss and deafen you all. And I happen to have a smaller scrap here instead of using a full 8.5 by 11. I don't know about you, but if I'm just die cutting a little bit, I don't want to cut into a full sheet unless I have to. So we'll cut 2 of those, 2 of the ovals, so that will have to go in twice. And now for this, I'm just going to die cut it. Maybe I will bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. That will not fit in the mini. Ugh. It feels so dark in here. I turned off the light above because it casts way too much light on my work surface, and then you end up with a glare. But now it seems like it's like the middle of the night. Okay, bases. Here we go. Put that in there. I am in love with these magic mats. Yes, I know it's not a Stampin' Up item, but Stampin' Up doesn't have anything like it, and it is saving me so much money on plates. So much. Okay, so you can see I am die cutting through the DSP and the card front, not the back. I did not cut into the inside. The back, I mean. Okay, so while I have that there, let's do our banners and our ovals. What do you think? Should we use the Hello Handsome since we're using that kind of fashion forward DSP with the mustache and the dress shoes and the glasses and the ties? I don't think I went all the way, did I? Shaker tag and gift card holder, apparently. So I still have a very long wish list in the holiday catalog, despite having gotten maybe half of it already. It is, every year it's like you look through the catalog and the first time it might be like, okay. But oh my gosh, this might be the best holiday catalog I've seen. I mean, there's always items that we miss that retire, right? But wow. Okay, so that, I believe, is all of our die cutting. Actually, no, it's not, is it? Actually, yes, it is. It is, it is. I'm gonna put this on the floor. It's so hot in here. I want to turn on my fan, but it's pretty much right beside you, and I don't want it to be loud. Okay, so that is that. We'll stamp our sentiments there. Now here, we're going to carefully peel that back, and then this is now the DSP that we can use on our gift card holder, so that will go across. See, waste not, want not. Here's our banners. Here is our cardstock rectangle. So do you see we did that one cut that gave us the banner for this, or well, the label for this and the DSP for that. So all I need to do now, just catch my breath. Boy, oh boy. I will put a few dimensionals on here. I'll just make sure I've got this. So dimensionals on the label, and then the sentiment label once we get there. Now, all we have to do is close that. We're going to line this up. It has to be like in perfect alignment, so fit it right from where it came. And then it kind of locks it. See? It could use a little bit of buffing, but now I missed a step. Let's peel this off very carefully. Did you see what I did there? Remember I said I was getting ahead of myself before. So typically you can get dimensionals off fairly easily. I'm going to sacrifice those two. Doesn't matter if it rips the cardstock just a little bit. We'll put that mat in there. Got little fluffies everywhere. Okay, so we'll just use a bit of seal on here. Put that in. That is going to bug me. So I like to get my even margins on the 3 sides and then basically just drop it. So now we can do that again. It was just practice. Hi, Feline. We're doing a twofer tonight. Gift tag and a card. And I know it's Father's Day coming up this weekend. Maybe you have everything already figured out, but this would work for any time. Birthday, anything. Doesn't have to just be Father's Day. Okay, so I've got my dimensionals back on there. It's a lot easier to see this time. We're gonna fit that in like it's a puzzle piece, because if it doesn't fit perfectly, you're gonna really struggle to get that card open and closed. Okay, and I move it a little bit just to get it to lock in there. I may not have gotten perfect alignment, but also the more that you do it, the easier it gets. Yeah, I think I got a bit of a gap. This poor thing is going to be like, oh, would you just put me in the right place already, woman? Okay, so now we can add our sentiment. Oh, that was silly. Well, we're going with it. We're going to have Sahara Sand, because on this one I had Crumb Cake and then the basic black. But if I put basic black banners on there, you're not going to see it. So for both of these, I'm going to cut, let's say, 1/2 inch off. We'll stamp this sentiment before I forget, because hello, right? Now this Hello Handsome looks super cute if you stamp it on an angle. Usually I would use my Stamparatus because I don't always get the best impression the first time around with my memento. Case in point. But these also aren't meant to stamp perfectly. I'm meant to be a little bit distressed. Okay, not great. If you have that happen though, just go over it with a black Stampin' Right marker. I'm gonna have to re-ink these. But they're not lost cause. I'm not going to do this all right now, but I want to show you that with the fine tip and a steady hand, which you know I don't have the most steady hand, but just as dark as the first one, right? Okay, so we'll put this on here, just a little bit of seal, and it does just have to be a little bit because we are going to use dimensionals. We're going to bend these just a little bit. We'll have one coming up and one going down. Now, like I said, for my sample, my banners came out a little bit too far. So before you put your dimensionals on and do what I did, make sure that it can open and close without those banners getting in the way. I don't have as much showing as I'd like, but there we go. We can put it on an angle, we can put it straight, but then the banners kind of get in the way again. Honestly, I really like this one when it's on an angle. I feel like it gives it a little bit more character. Aw, thank you, Crystal. Okay, I'm sorry, ladies. I've got to turn the fan on. I'm boiling. Maybe the one under my desk won't be so loud. I've got one at my feet. I've got one at my face. Don't worry, I will be finishing this off at some point. If we do it on an angle, those banners aren't going to get in the way. You could still put a sentiment in here. You might notice on this one, I added one of the little die cuts from the DSP set. You can see it's just the edges of my banners that get stuck. Okay, while that's open, we will take some of that black twine. Actually, maybe we will use crumb cake, since we have a basic black card base. And I'd like to tell you that I make these little mistakes so that I can teach you what not to do. But honestly, it's just what happens. Even if you do this every day, there are still mistakes that you can make and things you can do better. But at the end of the day, it should be fun. It shouldn't stress you out. Okay, so there's that. I will come in and finish this before I take a picture to share with you. I am going to leave it blank on the inside. So do you see what I mean? If you don't get it perfectly lined up, it won't kind of click in place. This will sit flat because it's locked in. Now, all we have to do is add this. We'll add a little bit of glue on the cardstock. Add that DSP, and it hangs over just a smidge on either side. But I thought this shape was really nice because then you can still see whatever's in there, but not all of it. Like if we had that Amazon card, you wouldn't see the entire thing. It would just be a little bit. A couple more dimensionals on this guy, and that's it. Let me know which one is your favorite. Do you like the basic black with the fashion DSP, or do you like the crumb cake that has the barbecue DSP? You know what? I am going to heat emboss this. I'm not going to do it on here because, you know, I hate the sound of a heat tool on a Facebook Live, which is why I only do them in my videos. I'm going to heat emboss it because I feel like that's just going to get lost. So I will take pictures of that when I'm done, and I'll also get a much better stamping. What do you think? Hi, Kathy. Unless you want me to do it right now. I'm going to do it right now because I want to show you something. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm taking this one off. I don't love it. You ever get that? You get to the end, you're like, I don't like it. I feel like if you're going to do it right, right? So when I finish this, I have to go get those swaps done, which I've made great progress on. You like them both, Feline? Thank you. Okay, so if you are not yet a demonstrator, you wouldn't have seen this yet, but there is a new embossing kit in the July to December mini. Comes with a brush. It comes with these reverse tweezers and the embossing buddy and this cool tray. So here, let me show you what a difference it will make with Versamark and white embossing powder. I think I'm going to do it on here and then I'll die cut it. Is that oval gonna fit? It will, but then I'm wasting my rectangle. Let's get a scrap. I can't do it. Okay, so whenever embossing on black, I always use some kind of anti-static powder tool, whether that's embossing buddy or whatever you got. You can technically use cornstarch, but if you don't do that, you are going to get so many little stray bits of powder. I'm going to get my white out. And I'm not going to die cut them first because I want to make sure of the placement is right. Okay, so we got one, we got two, and you can see I've got some distance in between so that I have enough room to die cut my ovals. Versamark is basically a glue ink pad. It stays wet longer and is ideal for heat embossing. So do you see, even with the embossing buddy, I still have stray powder. So that is where this brush comes in handy. Now, I am going to say that this is a little too big for my liking, and it could be because I've been using just a little brush for a few years. This was just from Dollar Tree. Now, the brush comes with, so you're going to have it anyways, but I like to get into smaller areas. Sometimes just blowing on it helps, but I like the control I get with a smaller brush, so to each their own. Just know that if there are any stray powders and you don't brush them away before you heat set it, it will be there forever. Okay, so I'm going to preheat my heat tool. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I preheat it on 2, which is the high setting, and then I bring it down to 1 to do my actual embossing. It doesn't scorch it that way, there's less warping. So, BRB. Okay, so I'm turning it down to 1. And because this is such a big piece of cardstock, I don't need my tweezers. But I heat it from the back so that I don't have a whole bunch of powder blow off as soon as I bring my tool to it. And then you can see when it starts to change into that brighter white, it's done. You don't want to stay in the same area once it's done because it will burn. It'll either scorch it or it will flatten it, giving you exactly the opposite effect that you want. Just in case you're new to heat embossing, I don't think it ever stops being magic. I remember the first time I ever did this long before I was making cards. I mean, long before I was making Stampin' Up cards, and it's like magic. Okay, so we want to let this sit for a few seconds, because if I run it through now, and the powder is not cool, it's going to smudge and I'm gonna have to do it all over again. So while I'm waiting for that, I just want to give you another peek at this set of dies so that when the catalog goes live on July 1st, you won't miss it. But it is part of a bundle, so save that 10% and get both. You like the white? Yes, I know, it looks so much better, doesn't it? Oh, I could have used that piece. Goofball, I didn't put it back. That's why. Okay, now because I've already gone through the effort of embossing this and it's ready to go, I am going to use some kind of tape to keep it in place because I don't want to have to do it over again. Not the end of the world, but I don't have time to do things more than once. Sometimes I'm lucky to have the time that I have. Yes, there are different settings, Kathy. So I have gotten to the point where I always preheat it on 2 and then do the actual setting on 1. A lot less warping. Now this is a tag, so you wouldn't see a whole lot of warping. But especially if you're using vellum. You don't want that high heat because vellum never seems to lay flat no matter what you do, but if you heat emboss it on high, for sure, it's never laying flat. It's kind of like a mop like this. So I'm at work and I'm like, okay, so this part, all right, not so bad. It's got a little bit of a wave or a kink, but I'm like, what the heck happened here? It is like poker straight. Like, did you not get the memo that the rest of the hair got? Fall in line, man. Okay, I'm kind of feeling like this might be too much black, but it's too late. It is going to very much stand out on this one. I'm just going to do it. We've come this far, right? Now, usually I would use the black dimensionals, but I don't think I have enough of them left. And to be completely honest, you don't see them. Now, we'll use this one on there and that one on there. I am going to add a little bit of glue on here because you can see the dimensionals are behind there. Okay, put that on an angle so we can still see a bit of our banners. Not much on that side, but too late. Alrighty. So 2 of the same projects using different DSP within the same DSP. 2 different patterns, 2 different colors. I think I like this one just because there's that contrast, but I am loving this white on black there. Okay, so that is all. I will take some pictures of those and share them on Instagram. Like I said, I've got 7 projects. So this was, I mean, these both count as number 3. But if you missed, this was Monday's video. That was project 1 of the masculine week. This is project 2. So lots of good stuff coming at you. I can't wait. I wish I could show you the rest, but then you'd have nothing to look forward to. So I want to thank you so much for joining me, and have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.